Hey all, this is Rohit from Testing Jobs, and I welcome you all to this session on manual testing. Without any delay, we'll start the session. We will begin the session by taking about what is manual testing and characteristics of manual testing. After that, we will talk about why need manual testing and steps in manual testing. After that, we'll talk about different types of manual testing, tools used for manual testing. And finally, we'll end by covering advantage and disadvantage of manual testing. Manual testing is a technique to test the software that is carried out using the functions and features of an application. In manual software testing, a tester carries out tests on the software by following a set of predefined test cases. In this testing, testers make test cases for the codes, test the software, and give the final report about that software. Manual testing is time-consuming because it is done by humans, and there is a chance of human errors. Every new application must be manually tested before its testing can be automated. Manual testing requires more effort than automation testing, but is necessary to check automation feasibility. There is no requirement for knowledge of any testing tool in manual testing. Now, we will talk about characteristics of manual testing. Human performance. Human testers who use the product in the same way as end users conduct manual testing, manually carrying out test cases. Testers provide input and watch the result to find errors. Second characteristics is investigative testing. Exploratory testing, in which testers examine the application without using PI-defined test cases, is a common component of manual testing. This method aids in locating unforeseen problems and evaluating the user experience. Third characteristics is flexibility. Throughout the testing process, testers are able to adjust to changing conditions and requirements. Based on their observations, they are able to adapt test cases or investigate new ideas. Initial testing. Early in the software development life cycle, even before the program is fully developed, manual testing can be started. By doing exploratory testing, testers can find problems early in the development process. Examining complex situations. When testing complex scenarios that could be difficult to automate, manual testing works well. Testers are able to evaluate the interactions between various components and maneuver through complex workflows. And the final characteristics is testing user interfaces UI. Manual testing is a good way to assess an application's user interface. From a user's point of view, testers can evaluate the general design, responsiveness, and appearance and feel. Next, we will discuss about why we need manual testing. Below are some reasons why manual testing is required. The first reason is bug-free and stability. The main goal of manual testing is to ensure that the application is bug-free, stable, in conformance with the requirements, and delivers a stable product to the customers. Next is familiarity with the product. Manual testing helps the test engineers get more familiar with the product and get an end-user perspective. This helps them to write correct test cases for the software. Fixing the defects. Manual testing helps to ensure that the defects are fixed by the developer and that retesting has been done on the fixed defects. Now, we will discuss about the steps involved in manual testing. The below diagram lists the steps in the manual testing process. First step is requirement analysis. Study the software project documentation. Bytes and application under test. Analyze the requirements from SRS. The second step is test plan creation. Create a test plan covering all the requirements. Next is test case creation. Design the test cases that cover all the requirements described in the documentation. Fourth step is test case execution. Review and baseline the test cases with the team lead and client. Execute the test cases on the application under test. Next is defect logging. Detect the bugs, log and report them to the developers. And the final step is defect fix and re-verification. When bugs are fixed, again execute the failing test cases to verify they pass. Now, we will discuss about the types of manual testing. There are different methods to implement manual testing, but it is broadly classified into three types of manual testing. They are white box testing, black box testing, and gray box testing. Black box testing. In this technique, the tester or the QA analyst will only check the functionality of the particular module or particular method, or sometimes the entire application, by providing the different test cases manually. Here, the tester will give the input for the application and test it manually. If it returns the expected output, then the tester will proceed with another set of inputs and report all the results to the team. If the input given by the user manually is failed during the testing, Then he or she will report this issue to the development team. Next is white box testing. In this technique, the person will check the internal structure of the system like designs, coding, etc. manually. Here, the development team will review the entire coding part line by line to ensure the correctness of the code. If he or she finds anything dissimilarities or errors in the code, they will correct or fix the errors in the coding or designs. Here, the process is entirely carried out manually, and the process is efficient since the checking code or design is manually checked by humans. Gray box testing. This technique is the combination of both white box testing and black box testing. Here, the internal structure of the application is partially known by the tester. The tester will check both the internal structure and the functionality of the application manually. The tester will check the coding part as well as test the application by providing different test cases manually. If the input fails at some stage, the tester will then make the changes in the coding part. Now we will discuss about the tools used for manual testing and features of it. The first tool is TestLink.IT is a web-based test management system that facilitates software quality assurance, and it is one of the most user-friendly programs. It is available through a browser connected to the internet. Features of TestLink. This manual software testing tool support various programming language and support cross-browser testing across different platforms, and also facility to record and playback functionality for test automation. Bugzilla. It is a web-based bug tracking tool that is developed by Mozilla. It has a simple bug search that searches the complete text of the bug. Features of Bugzilla. It supports various OS like Mac, Windows, and Linux, and facility to list the software bug in different format. And also, Bugzilla has advanced searching facility. Jira. It is a manual testing tool that helps teams assign, track, report, and manage work, and bring teams together. This tool is compatible with agile software projects also. Features of Jira. Option to track and manage bugs and defects. IT prioritize and assign tasks, and collaborate with team members, and also easily generate reports and track progress. LoadRunner. It is one of the most widely used performance testing tools. The primary purpose of this tool is to categorize the most prevalent causes of performance problems. Features of LoadRunner. It simulates real-world user behavior and load, identifies bottlenecks and performance issues, and also scalable architecture for large-scale testing, provides detailed reports and analysis. Apache JMeter. It is an open-source load testing tool for analyzing and measuring the performance of a variety of services. It has an easy-to-use user interface. Features of JMeter. It simulates various types of load web, database, etc. are highly configurable and extensible. .IT integrates with various plugins for additional features and provides comprehensive performance reports and graphs. Now we will discuss about the differences between manual testing and automation testing. Definition of manual testing. It is the process of manually testing the software, whereas automation testing is defined as it involves the usage of automation tools for executing the test cases. In manual testing, test cases are executed manually by the QA testers, whereas in automation testing, test cases are executed automatically using automation tools and scripts. Manual testing is less efficient and time-consuming, whereas automation testing is more efficient and less time-consuming. In manual testing, test coverage is difficult to ensure 100% test coverage, whereas in automation testing, more test coverage can be ensured in automation testing. For manual testing, there is no need to have programming knowledge. Only product knowledge is required, whereas in automation testing, it is important to have programming knowledge to write test scripts. Advantages of manual testing. Fast and accurate visual feedback. It detects almost every bug in the software application and is used to test the dynamically changing GUI designs like layout, text, etc. Less expensive. It is less expensive as it does not require any high-level skill or a specific tip. No coding is required. No programming knowledge is required while using the black box testing method. It is easy to learn for the new testers. Efficient for unplanned changes. Manual testing is suitable in case of unplanned changes to the application, as it can be adopted easily. Disadvantages of manual testing. Less reliable. Manual testing is less reliable as it does not provide testing on all aspects of testing, cannot be reused. There is a need to develop separate test cases for each new software. Large human resources required. Manual testing requires numerous human resources, and there are some tasks that can't be performed manually, needs experience. The tester needs to know the application well. They develop test cases based on their experience, or functions not covered. Time consuming. If the project is large, then the testing process is time consuming.